In Unit 10, First Grade, Frontier Explorers, students will learn about the American frontier, explorers, and events that played an important role in the westward expansion of the United States. The overriding focus of this unit is to emphasize the story of the westward expansion of the United States. Students will first review the development of the 13 colonies in the Revolutionary War. They will hear how the first English colonists settled along the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. As more people migrated to the colonies, and by the time of the Revolutionary War, the line of the frontier moved all the way to the Appalachian Mountains. Students will learn that the Appalachian Mountains were difficult to traverse and acted as a barrier to colonists who wanted to settle farther west. Students will be introduced to Daniel Boone and the role he played in westward expansion, specifically his role in widening a network of Native American trails that became known as the Wilderness Road. After hearing about Daniel Boone and the Wilderness Road, students will then hear about the presidency of Thomas Jefferson. Students will learn about how Jefferson enabled the purchase of the Louisiana Territory from France, moving the line of the frontier all the way to the Rocky Mountains. Students will hear about Lewis and Clark's explorations of the Louisiana Territory and about the 3 reasons why President Jefferson commissioned the exploration of the new land: to find an all-water route from the Mississippi River to the Pacific Ocean, to make contact with various Native American tribes, and to record the geography and the wildlife of the Louisiana Territory. Students will also be introduced to Sacagawea and her role in the expedition. By the end of the domain, students should have a good understanding of the concept of westward expansion, as well as the key people involved, and how it contributed to the growth of the United States. Understanding the chronology of events and people in the westward expansion of the United States will lay the foundation for other historical topics, including coverage of 19th century westward expansion in later grades. Also, in this unit, students will explore informational writing. Students will use a graphic organizer to analyze the actions of the trailblazer Daniel Boone. Students will also write sentences about such topics as the Appalachian Mountains as a natural barrier to moving west, the Louisiana Purchase, and the route they take to school. Students will also work together to write a short informational paragraph summarizing Lewis and Clark's expedition using information from a graphic organizer they completed in various lessons. Something else you will introduce students to is instructional writing. As in other units of Grade 1, students are taught a 3-stage writing process. First, students plan, then they draft, and then they edit. You will be asked to draw attention to these steps again as students work on these kinds of writing. Students will also practice opinion writing in this unit. Students will learn that, when writing an opinion piece, they should state their opinion, give reasons for their opinion, and provide a conclusion for their thoughts. Students will also be encouraged to include evidence from the text to support their opinion. Remember to discuss these important essential questions. How were the Appalachian Mountains a barrier to the settlers who wanted to move west? Why did Thomas Jefferson want to buy New Orleans? How did Sacagawea help Lewis and Clark? How was Daniel Boone important for the United States? Now it is time to explore the frontier in Unit 10 Frontier Explorers.